right now after several inappropriate incidents involving school staff and students could change be coming from the lawmakers. We'll explain the proposed legislation.
And 30s and 40s today, but 50s arrive for the weekend. How long they stick around for in the full forecast.
And later, how the city of Madison is stepping up to make roads safer after a deadly crash involving a Madison high school student. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. We begin with the weather, where above normal temperatures and beautiful sunshine continuing through this week.
That's right. Here's meteorologist Blaze Keller with our first warn forecast.
That's right. As we get closer to Valentine's Day, the weather is really going to continue to be near perfect. 50s arriving by Saturday. Quiet conditions pretty much from here through the middle of next week. Maybe a light rain snow mix there Thursday morning, but not everyone is going to see that. An emphasis on the light. Clouds move in tonight ahead of that rain snow mix chance. Temperatures will linger in the teens to 20s. We're looking at maybe not even getting into those low 30s or staying in those low 30s across southwestern Wisconsin. Right now, temperatures are still lingering in the 40s. Prairie du Chien, we're still near there. Platteville, as well as in Viroqua and La Crosse. Everybody else still above freezing at this hour. In those upper 20s, though, around Camp Douglas and Watoma. Juneau, we're coming in at freezing. Same with those of us in Fond du Lac at 30 degrees, so just a little bit below that freezing line. With 50s arriving by the weekend, they will be here a little bit sooner than when we normally start to ease into the 50s, which is late February. February 22nd is when we typically average our first day in the 50s in the Madison area. So how long do they stick around for? Through the late February time frame? It doesn't quite look like that, but we'll have a few days in the 50s. Details on that and any more rain or snow chances in the full forecast.
Okay, thank you, Blaze. The Wisconsin Supreme Court is hearing arguments today in a case challenging a state-run race-based scholarship program. The lawsuit focuses on the Minority Undergraduate Retention Grant. It provides financial assistance to certain undergraduate students, including Black, Indigenous, Hispanic, and some Southeast Asian students. The goal is to improve retention and graduation rates. However, the plaintiffs argue the statute violates state and federal equal protection guarantees and says the program unfairly excludes students based on race. The state counters that the plaintiffs lack standing and that the program serves public interest.
This is not a situation where we're talking about spots at Harvard, and those spots are super competed for, and every spot that a minority candidate gets, that means somebody else has to pay the price.
This is not an equal educational opportunity. It's an opportunity available to some races and not to others. So how they can claim that an unequal, racially discriminatory scholarship program furthers an interest in equal educational opportunity is, to me, incoherent.
We probably will not find out how the justices decide on this case until the end of the court's session in the summer.
City of Madison officials say they're stepping up safety efforts after the deadly crash involving a high school senior on Park Street last week. 17-year-old Sasha Rosen was killed while in a crosswalk on Park Street heading to the bus stop. Family members and those in the community have now launched the website SafeStreetsForSasha.org as a way to end what organizers call traffic violence. In Madison city government, as part of its Vision Zero push, staff members say they are using quick build projects to make dangerous streets safer, faster.
So another example of some quick builds that we put in are bump outs, so kind of narrowing the roadway at intersections. Also raised crossings, we're putting in a lot of those, especially near path crossings. So like Atwood Avenue, we put in several raised crossings, really just prioritizing pedestrians, bicyclists.
From lower speed limits and flashing beacons to raised crossings and traffic circles, engineers say those changes will help protect people walking and biking and are key, they say, to preventing future tragedies on Madison streets.
One person is dead after a crash along I-94 near Tomah last night. It was reported just before 8 p.m. at mile marker 141. According to State Patrol, a vehicle and a semi were involved in this crash and both caught fire. The driver of the vehicle died in the crash. No word on the condition of the semi-driver.
Madison police are searching for a suspect where a man was pistol whipped, beaten and shot on the city's west side. That incident reported just after 9 p.m. on Muirfield Road. An 18-year-old victim was taken to a hospital but is expected to be okay. Police say the incident is believed to be targeted. So far, no arrests have been made. Anyone with information on the case is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number at the bottom of your screen there, area code 608-266-6014.
Police in Janesville are investigating a shooting that left one person injured last night. Officers were called to West Van Buren Street about 6:15. They found the victim with a gunshot wound, but their injuries are not life-threatening. Police Chief Chad Pearson could not release many details on this incident, citing an active investigation, but he did say there is no indication of any threat to the Janesville community.
Right now, agriculture and hunger relief groups are urging state lawmakers to supply millions of dollars in food share funding to the state. The State Department of Health Services estimates that just over $69 million is needed to implement the changes to food share operations since the passage of the president's Big Beautiful Bill. This will include just over $32 million to cover administrative costs after those costs shifted from 50% to 75% for states after the passage of that bill. $16 million for additional county staff and DHS staff positions. Now, this aims to keep the food share error rate low, and just under $21 million to support the FSET program. That helps people reach the newly required work requirements for food share recipients.
Food share brings more than $1 billion of spending power into our state every year. That flows not only through grocery stores, but back through cheese plants and into dairy farms like the one my family owns. This is particularly true for small processors like us and mid-sized processors. We don't have the ability to absorb shocks to the system the way that larger companies do.
According to DHS, just under 80,000 food share recipients across Dane, Rock, Sauk, and Columbia counties lost all or some of their food share benefits.
Big news from campus today. UW-Madison has a new interim chancellor. Dr. Eric Wilcox will succeed Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin when she leaves to become president of Columbia University. Dr. Wilcox is currently the Dean of College of Letters and Science, the university's largest college. He has been part of the UW-Madison campus since 1995 when he started as a lecturer in the Department of Astronomy just before joining the faculty a year later. In a statement, Dr. Wilcox said he is humbled and honored to be asked to serve in this role. Well, in the past week, we've seen 4 different incidents with staff members at area schools having inappropriate relationships with students.
This is happening as senators passed a bill that would define grooming in Wisconsin. Lawmakers say that defining what grooming is would hold adults more responsible for their actions.
Our Tanisha Shaw has more.
Lawmakers say that there is a gray area within the state law. If an adult is having consistent, inappropriate conversations with a minor, there may not be a way to legally hold them accountable.
It's alarming, but unfortunately not surprising.
Rep. Amanda Nedweski is one of the elected officials backing a bipartisan bill that would define what grooming is here in Wisconsin.
Grooming means you're sort of gaining that child's trust over a period of time and making them more comfortable with activities that they might not know are wrong. Maybe they do, but they feel more comfortable with it.
The bill defines grooming as a pattern of behaviors with intentions to condition, seduce, solicit, lure, or entice a child to engage in sexual behavior. This includes sexual intercourse and sexual pictures.
We just want to make sure we have the tools to intervene before an assault happens.
This bill being voted on as schools here in South Central Wisconsin respond to inappropriate incidents involving students and staff. Police say a Madison school teacher sent sexual texts to a teen in Texas. He was charged on February 6th. Then a few days later, on February 9th, police arrested Mount Horeb coach David Chancellor. They said he had, quote, inappropriate communication with a student. Then on February 10th, the Oregon Police Department say they are investigating 2 separate incidents that involve staff members and students.
We're all afraid all the time for our child's safety and want to make sure that the right laws are in place to protect our children.
Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. And coming up next, what a new study is finding out about the baby foods in the U.S.
Plus, the CDC sees a sharp increase in cases of a dangerous fungus where health experts are seeing it spread the most.
Watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Welcome back. A new study finds that many babies and toddlers are eating foods that are bad for their digestive systems. According to a study released in the journal Nutrients, researchers took a look at 651 foods and said more than 70% of them had additives that are connected to inflammation and disruptions in the gut microbiome. A CDC report also found most foods eaten by U.S. children are ultra-processed. Previous studies have shown that eating ultra-processed food can lead to major health issues, including obesity and type 2 diabetes. The Food and Drug Administration is reassessing a chemical preservative that's been used in food for more than 60 years. It's called BHA. This chemical is used to prevent fats and oils from spoiling in various foods and meat products, and it's used in makeup. Back in 1958, the FDA deemed BHA as safe and approved it as a food additive in 1961. And now, if BHA doesn't meet gold standard for use, federal health officials say that it will be removed from the food supply.
A little-known fungus is becoming a growing public health concern. Candida auris is drug-resistant, hard to detect, and spreading quickly. According to the CDC, there were more than 7,000 reported cases across the U.S. last year. That's a sharp increase from just a few years ago, and those cases are now reported in more than half of the states nationwide. Health experts say the deadly infection is spreading mostly in hospitals and nursing homes, and they worry that the fungus is becoming more resistant to antifungal drugs.
And sometimes we get drug-resistant forms where there are no more antifungal drugs that are available to treat it, and that's why it's being called, quote, a superbug.
Now, researchers say outdated diagnostics often misidentify the infection, which then delays treatment. While researchers are testing new antifungal drugs, experts say early detection and strict infection control are the best defenses for now.
Up next, we have tips for couples to both balance their budget and their relationship.
Plus, a fun way to fight colon cancer, the upcoming event that's raising money and research and awareness.
And could we see temperatures get up into the 50s this Valentine's Day weekend? Blaze returns with the answer when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Well, it's a live look from our Skycam in Platteville. Temperatures slightly cooler there today, but things could dramatically change by the time we get to the weekend. For the latest, let's check your complete forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze?
We are looking at the 50s to return for the first time since mid-January. So we've almost got a whole month without sliding into those 50s, and they're set to arrive as we go into your Valentine's weekend. After that, I think we become a little bit more active here across southern Wisconsin. Some of our long-range models want to bring in 2, maybe 3 systems almost back to back. So enjoy the quiet weather while it is still here for the most part. We might squeeze out a light rain snow mix Thursday morning, but a lot of us are going to be dry. I would say if you live in western parts of Crawford, Grant, extreme western parts of Richland, Iowa, and Lafayette counties, you're going to have the best chance for that light rain snow mix through the late morning hours on Thursday. But then we clear out the cloud cover. Winds are going to be out of the south, so we are quickly warming back up into those upper 30s to mid 40s for most of southern Wisconsin. Any light rain snow mix, emphasis on the snow that we do see tomorrow morning, will quickly melt. A little bit cooler off towards, say, Fond du Lac and Watoma, where we might hang out right around freezing, but it will still be above normal for this time of year. We just have to get above 30, and most of us will be there tomorrow, certainly there on Friday, well above average for your Valentine's Day on Saturday, that Sunday, following Monday and Tuesday. Those 50s could possibly linger into Wednesday of next week. A system will move on through, again, maybe one of the 3 that we might see over the next couple of weeks, move on through and cool us back down into those 30s by the time we wrap up next week. So, on this graphic, the darker the reds or the darker the blues mean the cooler or warmer than average greatness. So the darker the reds mean well above average here. Watch as those darker reds really pop up across parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, and start to move into parts of Wisconsin as we go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then into that following Tuesday as well. These are those 50s that are going to be sticking around as we go into the weekend and then kick off next week. We'll say goodbye to those warmer temperatures as we head into the second half of next week. But believe it or not, even though we've been warm these last couple of days, we're still an average temperature about a degree shy of where we should be for this time in the month. Our average temperature so far, nearly 19.5 degrees. That is going to quickly change as we head into this weekend. But that's following a cooler than average January. Believe it or not, even though we were cold for the second half of the month, it was actually pretty average for the state. You can read about how the state fared and our individual counties, how January was for them, and our latest Beyond the Barometer. There is a look at our 7 and 10 day forecast. 50 Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. A perfect Valentine's Day weekend for southern Wisconsin. That rain-snow mix chance moves in. Probably more rain than snow beginning later Tuesday, continuing through Thursday of next week. And that's when we'll settle back into more seasonal temperatures in those mid to upper 30s.
Looks beautiful. Thank you, Blaze. Well, in some uncertain economic times, talking about money with your significant other can be kind of uncomfortable. According to a study by Bankrate, people say they would rather talk about politics, religion, and even weight than how much money is in the bank. However, the personal finance experts at NerdWallet say that honesty should start early in a relationship. For longtime couples, regular money check-ins are a must, starting with budget basics and eventually shared financial goals.
Ideally, over time, you can also talk about more of the long-term aspirational side of this, because that's really what's going to get people motivated, is what are we working towards?
Bankrate found baby boomers more likely to say that they have in-depth knowledge of their partner's finances, since they're the most likely to combine them.
Well, right now you can nominate your favorite restaurants, bars, businesses, and other services. Nominations are open for Madison Magazine's Best of Madison. You can also celebrate the city's top businesses at our annual luncheon on February 27th. That's at the Concourse Hotel. You can find all the details and tickets at channel3000.com. Just click on the Madison Magazine tab. Calling all bowlers. Registration is now open for the UW Carbone Cancer Center's 25th annual Bowlin' for Colons fundraiser.
This event supports gastrointestinal cancer research and will be bigger than ever. On March 1st, 9 local bowling alleys will look to raise $75,000. Colon cancer is the third most diagnosed cancer. Now, this year, there will be around 154,000 new cases and nearly 53,000 deaths. While overall rates are falling, the incidence is rising in younger adults.
With early screening, we've made a lot of advances in catching colon cancer early. So, the 5-year mortality rate for colon cancer, if it's caught in an early stage, is 75 to 90%. So meaning 75 to 90% chance that you survive your colon cancer if it's caught in an early stage.
So here's how it works. Teams of 4 to 5 people will bowl either in the morning or afternoon. 3 games, shoe rental, and a 25th anniversary t-shirt are included. And teams just have to register by next Tuesday to get the t-shirt. Just head to wiscmedicine.org and click on events.
And Andrew is here with a look at sports, and boy, what a big one to last night in Champaign.
Yeah, still buzzing from that one all around the city. Still to come in sports, what has gotten into these Badgers? Hear from the Comeback Kids after their second road win against a top 10 team. Next on News 3 Now.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS Telecom.
There's a reason that they call Greg Gard the silent assassin, like it says behind me. Last night, Bucky beat number 8 Illinois at their place. It's Gard's 7th top 10 road win since he took over the program in 2015. No other coach in the country has more such wins in that span. And more so, it's their 2nd top 10 road win this season. And like they have so many times before this year, the Badgers clawed their way back.
Down 12 with, 8 minutes left. And I think it's just this group has a fight in it, and we know what we're capable of. Their confidence is growing just from their own success. You can kind of point them in the direction, you can show them the way, but they've got to paint the picture. They've got to go do it themselves.
And you can't talk about this team's success without talking about Nick Boyd. Seriously, this guy has been a revelation. Believe it or not, he is on track to be the first Badger to score 20 points per game since Michael Finley in 1995. And he just gives Bucky a swagger, and most importantly,
he's a winner, and he's won everywhere he's been, and that's why he wanted to come to Wisconsin, because Coach, I've been to a Final Four, and I want to get to another one, and he's as competitive of individual that I've been around in a while.
Well, you can smell it in the air. Spring is almost here, and so is spring training. The Brewers pitchers and catchers reported to Arizona today. Now, the first preseason action is still 10 days away. But come on, if this doesn't get you excited, what will? This summer, the Crew will look to collect their 4th straight NL Central title. And to get into the spirit, the Crew made a move today, signing Gary Sanchez, the catcher, to a 1-year deal. The 2-time All-Star was with the Orioles last season, but you may remember him. He played in Milwaukee in 2024 and hit 11 home runs.
First time I met Greg Gard, that's the hairstyle he had.
Right.
Coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10, the state Senate takes up 5 bills. This is related to transgender children. We'll take a look at what each one would do and the chances they have of becoming law. That and much more coming your way tonight. Join us for News 3 Now at 10.
And a quick check on our weather. It's getting better and better.
Yes, 50s arrive by the weekend, upper 30s to low 40s tomorrow with partly sunny conditions by the afternoon. A light rain snow mix possible across southwestern Wisconsin through the late morning. 40s on Friday, 50s Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Enjoy it, because then we cool down and welcome back some rain chances.
Our place, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Entertainment Tonight is next.
And our next show, of course, is coming up at 10 o'clock. Be sure to join us. You can always find us streaming as well, 24/7 on Channel